3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1020. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So, while I was saying that intro stuff, I got this strong feeling that the reading 1111 in the future will be significant for somebody watching this video. The number 1 for me is about trusting yourself, and given that there's only one, there used to be 2 ones in the recent 10 videos or so that I've been recording, but there is a 1 in 1020. And I just feel like that's a really strong confirmation, the number 1111, of the 1 in 1020. So, if you need this message, if it resonates with you, I feel like there is a strong message here for you to trust yourself, your intuition, your inner voice, what kind of decisions you feel called to make, what you feel called to say, just how you feel called to show up for the world and for yourself. The number 0 in 1020 is about cycles. Perhaps there's something significant about a pattern within you that you are noticing or outside of you in your reality. And I mean a pattern in terms of a certain way of thinking, feeling, or believing that is manifesting as a positive or negative product in your reality as those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. I feel like it's most likely that this pattern is one that is negative, but it could definitely be one that is positive as well. You may be noticing something about the way that you're thinking in general, and it's either calling for you to keep thinking this way in a way that's positive and productive and healthy for you, or to address the negative thinking, the negative self-talk, the negative mindset. It really does feel like it's more so, this reading is going to be more so geared towards people with a more negative mindset. You deserve to have a healthy and fair perception of yourself, what you've been through, and just reality in general. There are 2 zeros in this 1020, and another way that I interpret it is a journey, because cycles, they have a beginning and an end. So, you could be feeling encouraged or called to make some positive changes. To change the way that you think, feel, and believe, and ultimately live and experience life. I'm a very, very strong believer that your mind controls your reality. And I literally just saw the number 432 on the timer, which is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. I believe and feel this way for a reason. I've had my own experiences that support this belief, but In a more general sense, I believe this, that your mind controls your reality, because your mind, the way that you think, influences how you feel and what you believe. And these thoughts and these feelings and these beliefs influence your decisions, and your decisions dictate, or at least influence, your reality. And that's why it's really, really important to take care of your mind and to make sure that you're thinking in a way that is healthy. You know, a more abundance mindset rather than lack mindset. Focusing more on gratitude and your strengths and what you do have rather than taking yourself or what you have for granted. And I know it's not always easy to practice gratitude, but I personally believe that it's powerful. I've been through a lot of really challenging things, and gratitude has always been what's helped me keep moving forward. Because, I mean, when you don't have much, sometimes gratitude is all you have. You know, so if you resonate with that, don't take that away from yourself too. You know, at least let yourself have that gratitude and the peace of mind that comes with it. No matter what's going on in your reality, you deserve to have and experience peace. I have been interpreting lately that there's always one journey. There's always that journey with yourself. How you connect with and treat yourself. And if you're in a more negative mindset, this is more significant for you in the way that this is an opportunity for you to build a healthier relationship and more fulfilling journey with yourself. And there could definitely be other journeys that run parallel to this journey of self-love, self-care, self-respect. But the journey with yourself always comes first. The relationship with yourself always comes first. The last number, the number 2, is about quite a few things for me. It's definitely about finding balance and inner peace. It's just confirmation of the fact that you do deserve peace, and the only person who's going to give you that is you, and giving yourself permission to think in a way that brings you peace, to look at yourself and the world and the things that you've been through in a way that brings you peace and even meaning as well. Number 2 can also be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that you have on your mind right now. Maybe particularly when I said, journeys, a journey or many journeys that run parallel to the journey that you have with yourself. And the last way that I interpret the number 2 is your choices and prioritizing what means the most to you. And I feel that, or I believe that one of the things that should mean the most to you is how you view and treat yourself, the relationship with yourself. And I believe that because it's powerful. The relationship with yourself can either absolutely destroy your life, or it could really propel you into greatness. So maybe it's an important choice for you to make here is to commit to self-love, choosing yourself when you need to, or self-destruction. And since this is a spiritual reading, of course, you're encouraged to make the choice to commit to yourself, to loving yourself, and giving yourself and treating yourself in the way that you deserve. Like I already said, I think, you deserve to be there for yourself and to really have your own back. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 0, still 3 of course. And like the number 2, I interpret this number in many different ways. The first way is self-expression and communication. You could feel called to be more honest with yourself, for sure, or to be more honest with other people in your life. Maybe you feel called to show up more authentically in this life. I also interpret it as healing and growing. And if you're already doing that, that's confirmation. And if you're not focused on that, maybe that's where you should be focused, is healing and growing, especially if you went through some challenging things as a child. There's really a lot to learn, and there's a lot of potential, untapped potential in healing if you haven't started that journey yet. And the last way that I interpret the number 3 is commitment, long-term investment. And this is just a powerful confirmation of what I already said about making a choice to commit to self-love. Like I said, of course, in a spiritual reading, you're going to be encouraged to choose self-love over self-destruction. And the number 3 is here to really reinforce that encouragement. Whatever you focus on, your attention is a form of investment. And that's why I believe that it's important to focus on what you do have control over, rather than what you don't. Because whatever you invest in will grow. So do you want to focus on what you don't have, what you can't control, and that to grow and to keep losing things and to feel more out of control? Or do you want to focus on what you do have, what you can control, and over time gain more, reap more in life, and have more control? Not only over yourself, but outcomes in your life. It's so important for you to understand how powerful your attention, your focus, your mind is. I'm going to go ahead and move into the cards portion of this reading, starting with the Magical Dogs Tarot. I was going to use the Magical Dogs Tarot, but if you've been around for a little while, you do know that sometimes I feel guided to switch the cards that I've already picked before I started recording, because, I'll try to say the deck that I chose, and I'll feel the urge to say a different deck. And that deck here was the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. So let me shuffle these real quick, and I'll pull out a couple of cards. I just saw the number 333 on the timer. I think I was just reminded of when I saw it in another reading too. I think it was the one before this one. 1000 No, I think it was 1018. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just confirmation of what I've already said about it. Be more honest with yourself, show it more authentically. Let yourself heal and grow and transform. And make that commitment to yourself, to loving yourself. So the first card that I have pulled for you is the Queen of Wands in reverse, which it says, what I've written on this card is, in quotes, I can't, the opposite of I can. It also says lack of self-confidence, comparing self to others. I really get a strong sense of grief from this card. Maybe there's something in the past or in childhood, the distant past, or maybe you've just been experiencing over and over and over again, losing something or someone and it being very painful and, making you question your worth and what you deserve, and not just in terms of other people, but also existentially, if that's the right word. I want you to know that I believe that we are meant to ask why. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Because I believe that that is the gateway or the bridge to faith. To having a stronger spiritual, faithful connection with the universe, spirit guides, religion, whatever higher power you feel called to believe in that aligns with you. You are meant to ask why, because there is a reason. And that reason, that understanding of what that reason is, exists within you. And the only way that you're going to access the answer, the reason, is by letting yourself reflect enough and heal enough for it to be revealed to you. It's really, really important for you to recognize that everything you need to know, especially spiritually, already exists within you. You have an intuition and an inner voice just as much as I do. And the more that you heal and the more that you're honest with yourself and your judgment becomes more clear, your intuition will get stronger. The messages, the signs will get crazier. Your senses, your psychic senses will become stronger. I personally see so much benefit in healing, and I've mentioned so many ways in this reading already. But if none of that resonates for you, I really, really encourage you to find your why. Why? What makes you feel motivated and committed to your healing? What benefit do you see out of healing that is worth it? I mean, I think having peace should be one of them, because you deserve that. That is part of self-love, giving yourself peace. And honestly, just healing in general, it is part of self-love. This I can't here really stood out to me. It's really making me think of the magician. I feel like you're taking away your own power, your own potential, by telling yourself you can't. You don't deserve to limit yourself like that. You definitely deserve to be more free from your own mind, really. And it's interesting that I say that as I pull the 8 of Swords. Is trust, faith, optimism, being too hard on self, believe in yourself, lack of self-love, confirmation there of all of the self-love we've been talking about, self-depreciation. I really feel, whoever's watching this, you have a tendency to be very hard on yourself and be very critical toward yourself in ways that's truly not fair to yourself. I feel like your spirit guides, they don't want you to take the losses in your life so personally that it closes you off from having faith, being optimistic, having hope. Especially with me feeling the magician with the Queen of Wands here, you have so much more power than you think. And I don't think you'll really realize it until you take control over your own mindset and your own focus, your own perception of life, yourself. You notice how you generally look at things. I think if you keep down this path of doubting yourself, being hard on yourself, it's just going to lead to more disappointment and pain. More of what you don't want. Maybe that could be a good motivator to heal. To finally experience life differently. You know? Differently in a way that is peaceful and abundant. And it may take some time and you might have to be very patient for it. But you're worth it. the patience and the time and the effort that it takes to experience life differently. And it's not like experiencing life differently is a destination. Your life is going to change the whole way there. Whatever your destination is. Whatever you're trying to achieve with healing. I do want to talk about the number 8 on the 8 of Swords before I pull the last card, which is about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. I'm so, so happy to have that number here in this reading for you because it's very relevant. I think it could be really, really helpful for you to trust that all of this loss, this grief, if you allow yourself to heal from it, I feel like you're already an intelligent person, and it's really only going to make you a lot smarter because you're going to become a lot more aware and a lot more conscious of so many things. Things that you deserve to know, to be aware of, and to be conscious of. I really encourage you to trust not only that what is lost will be replaced, but that everything happens for a reason. For me personally, the spiritual side of my healing journey, it was a huge, or at least a very large part that motivated me. Because, just feeling very curious about that sort of thing. I guess it was kind of always an intuitive alignment or calling. You could resonate with that. And if you don't, maybe you could reflect on why. Being spiritual and having faith or being religious, it's not for everybody. But with my own beliefs, I do believe that there is more out there. That there's something out there listening. Me personally, I'm not religious. I believe that spirituality is my religion. I believe that all religions have truth and deception, and that it's up to us to discern what is real and what isn't. What really came from intuition and what was really just an imagination of someone's mind in order to manipulate or deceive. I just feel like you have a lot of potential to become very powerful. You really do. Pain is a double-edged sword. We can either use it to empower us or to destroy us, and to empower those around us or to hurt those around us. It's really up to you. And like I said, I am going to pull one last card to finish up this reading by drawing out a deck of cards from this box of cards here. If you have any dreams, like aspirations, something that you really want out of life, it's okay to have faith in it. To try, I did say in a reading that, recently, that you never know until you try. I wasn't sure why I said it, but who knows? Maybe you watched that reading. But the last card that I have for you is a really comforting card. I'm very happy about this card. It has the number 444 on it, which is about stability, psychologically, spiritually, physically. Putting yourself first to make sure you feel safe and secure. And it's also about the presence of your ancestors, the connection that you have with your ancestors spiritually, or that you could have. I think your ancestors, whether you knew them in this life or not, are really here trying to support you and encourage you to choose self-love, because you deserve more. The only person who's going to give that to you is you. I looked down the time for it and I saw the number 444. Your ancestors are not playing around. This card says the rest of it does have a heart on it. I saw number 456 on the timer. It says take all of the time you need to rest, knowing that the next step is growth and better days. The 456 is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. Your ancestors are making their presence known for a reason. They really, really, really want you to have better. And for you to recognize that you have the power to give yourself that. It's just, are you willing to recognize and embrace your own power? And like this card says here, it's okay to take your time. It really is. There's no need to rush. And, you know, who you are right now, everything that you have right now, it's enough. And it's okay to acknowledge that, or to even not want to and feel stubborn and frustrated too. Because you may just need time to come around.